So I was trying to come up with an example for you folks to find a study. I was reading in the Week magazine a couple weeks ago, and this article was there, and I said, "Well, this might hold some interest for some of you." I said that I don't like. I've got those signs up in my room, but so I said, "So is this bad for you?" So I was reading through it, trying to find a study that they were talking about, and so I came up with the first one I looked try to find was about the Swedish soldiers and schizophrenia. So I said scrolled in the article, they didn't have anything, but here on the website they didn't have any links to any of the articles. Unfortunately, some websites will. That Science A Go Go often does. Website I'm going to send you to today often does. So I had to get a little creative here. So since I couldn't find that study, I said, well, let's try this one about New Zealand teenagers and having IQ drops. So I went out to Google. I searched New Zealand marijuana IQ drop, and there's the hits that came up. And the top it was the HuffPost. So I clicked there to see what they had to say about it. Maybe they had some links to the actual study. And they start talking about the same study out in New Zealand, explains how it was done, and this tells you a lot more information than the other article did. But I want you to actually find the actual source article, and that's part of being a good researcher, is using the original source material, not finding it rehashed. So what I did is I was reading through this article, and Ken Winter's name came up. Let's see, somewhere here they talk about this Myers lady. Here you go. Madeline Myers at Duke University. So I actually, what I did is I actually, let's see, actually they do have a link here, I'm sorry. At this website they did. Here's a link to the actual article, and this is what you can find. This is like a gold mine of finding this stuff. So I went out here, and I'm going to search for the author. Actually, I'm going to go back and grab her name. Madeline Meyer. Copy that. And here I am at the magazine's website, the journal's website. This is the actual journal that they publish the research in. And here it is. So what they have here is there's different websites have different amounts of access that they'll give you. They have an abstract. Some websites, well, what I'm going to show you here is the abstract. Some websites will put the whole article, the whole study in HTML or in PDF form. This one doesn't have it. If I clicked on that full PDF, they're going to make me pay. Okay, so I don't want to do that. A lot of times you can get just enough information out of the abstract. So what I am going to click on is the abstract here. And this kicks up all the information that they're doing about this. It explains how they sampled the people, what they did, the whole process. Okay, they had a result. Okay. And now what you're going to need to do is come back to so once I found that study, I have to come back. You're going to have to once you find your study, you're going to have to come back to this this statistic website in Google Docs. You'll have to sign into your Google Docs account if you're not already. And then what I'm going to ask you to do is click on this observational study form link. As soon as this opens. Okay, and I set up a Google's form, and it's going to automatically collect your username, so I know it's you. And you're going to answer these questions. You're going to paste in the study. You're going to talk about why it's an observational study, then what kind it is, and these are all things that you did back on Monday in that experimental, the glossary that you guys created. Okay, so you might have to refer to that in order to answer this. Now, what I recommend, I said up here, is do this in a word processed file first, and then you can just do that in a Google Docs file and write this all up there, do all the spell check, and then you just come back in and paste in these pertinent parts. I can go share a doc. I can put all these together in a single document so that you can use them just to answer the questions. Okay? And once you do that, you're going to click submit, and it'll ask you, here's what you submitted. Do you want to edit anything? Then you can just click submit. There's no limit on how many times you can do this, so if you screw up, you can do it again. It just collects what everybody submits. And back in this page, my example page, actually, let's see, where were we? Web request. So this is this page. Okay, now I gotta find it again. Here's my example. Okay, so back here I showed you what I submitted, how I answered that form and for these things based on that study I found about that New Zealand study. Okay, so it's going to make you think and make you do some work. So you don't have to make a video to show me it. You're just going to write a response. I recommend you start at the Science A Go-Go site. Back here I have a link to it. Okay, if you go to that link, you'll find it. And this is going to take you a while, guys. If you find a good study, it takes some time. Okay, I don't think this is something you're going to do in 10 minutes. All right, so it's going to be all due at the end of class on Thursday, and that, of course, I'm not here on Thursday, so you're going to be in the computer lab finishing this up. Okay.